Hello, brothers and sisters. The title of the message today is Song of Solomon, chapter 11. Come into my garden, drink and drink a lot, number 2. People have so many filthy thoughts in their brains like the garbage can, but they are struggling not to be taken away. But those people who met the Lord think, my soul is the problem. If I obey to the Lord, my whole being will be full of obedience. God created man with the soil, breathed the breath of life into his nostril, and he became the living soul. Soul is the man himself. Man's soul is composed of his knowledge, emotion, and willpower. If his functions are used in the righteous way, that can bring us satisfaction. But if our soil is used in the wrong place, it is troublesome. My willpower is supposed to be used at the right place at the right time, and my emotion is not appeared at the right place, appeared at the wrong place. I cannot control them. They are all related with my soul. My soul cannot be controlled according to my will. Thus, that man go through internal division. Those who want to control their being thoroughly, they go through internal division more seriously in the foolish way. Their internal life and their own being are different, and their functions are, and their wish are different. Consequently, their soul will be covered with wound all over. All the people of the world, their soul is covered with wound all over the places. They produce all dirty things from the inside, like the dirty things from the garbage can. They're not united together. They're all mixed together. Their pride is dirty. Their humbleness is dirty. Some people try to show humbleness, but they are dirty. Some people try to show clean things, but they are still dirty. If the people try to make something rightful using their own things, that is extremely dirty and confused. Those people just try to lead their life in a natural way. They have purity at least. If devil shows as he is, it's better. But if devil decorates himself, it gets worse. If people try to decorate the devil, the more people try, he will look filthier. All of people's thoughts, people's willpower, people's emotion are all polluted. They look all dirty. The final salvation of people is in the salvation of their soul. If our soul is perfectly saved, we can become free from all of our thoughts. We can become free from the thoughts that are myself is mine. If we can overcome from the consciousness of myself, this is the perfect freedom, and it is nirvana. People are captivated by themselves, so Buddhist monks discipline themselves in a narrow room, just watching white wall and meditate for 9 long years, trying to overcome from the ego of themselves. If we cannot overcome from our ego, we cannot obtain freedom. The Buddhist people are trying to forget about their ego, so they get rid of their soul. They're trying to make people who don't own any soul. But without soul, people cannot become true people. They may be possible to become stone Buddha, but they cannot become people, pure people. Their soul must receive salvation. God needed this. That's why he made it. He did not make unnecessary things. We used to curse and complain to God about our own emotion, our own willpower, and our own thoughts. God did not make them in the wrong way, but they were misused, that's why. As they could not meet the master of the right way, all creatures are suffering because they met misused people as their master. Like the same manner, our soul met the wrong master, going through hardships. As my life became polluted, my function going through hardship, even though it was made in a right way. Therefore, my soul was waiting for the sons of God to appear for such a long time. My soul was receiving curse and mistreating. At the same time, it was waiting for the Son of God to appear for a long time. My heart sank as his departure. I looked for him, but did not find him. I called him, but he did not answer. My soul was taken by him. My thoughts were taken by him. When a man becomes insane, it is because of his soul. When a man becomes filthy, it is because of his soul. If a man's soul is healthy and normal, they will never become captivated by ghosts. But if their soul is not normal, they will be captivated by ghosts. Those people who are captivated by ghosts, their soul is not healthy. Those people who are captivated by delusion, narcissism, or receiving a great shock and fell into despair or some kind of scar, Satan or ghosts control or dominate their soul, and that man becomes an insane man. If the soul is not normal, he cannot become anything. God made our soul in the perfect way. If the soul is just open toward God only, if the soul would just think about God, the soul is such a useful thing. Without soul, we cannot do anything. If there is no soul, what kind of words can I speak? I may run around like phantom around you. If there is no soul, I cannot spread God's words to you. If there is no soul, I cannot love brothers and sisters. If there is no soul, I cannot make a decision. If there is no soul, I cannot express the emotion of love toward you. If I have no soul, I'm a dead being. If there is no soul, there is no man like himself. God created man with the soil, breathed the breath of life into his nostril. He became the living soul. Man became the soul. It is man's everything. In the soul, God's life is contained. Paul said, but we have this treasure in the jar of clay to show that his all-surpassing power is from God and not from us. Paul considered himself as the clay work and considered Lord Jesus as a treasure. Two beings are not two beings. They are one being. I was born with the destiny. Two beings are united together and became one. Therefore, I'm nothing in fact. My being is nothing in fact. I was created as a dish that must be used for a certain purpose. When he spoke, my soul was gone. My soul was taken by him. My soul was gone out. I'm not myself. If ghosts took my soul, I'd become an insane man. King Agrippa said, you are out of your mind, Paul. He shouted, your great learning is driving you insane. Paul said, I'm not insane. What I'm saying is true and reasonable. Paul's thought was so clear. Paul replied, I pray to God that not only you, but all who are listening to me today may become what I am, except for these chains. I want your souls would become like my soul. When he spoke, my soul was taken. That means my soul received the salvation. As my spirit received the salvation with a passion that I adore the Lord, I receive a new life as our spirit received calling from the Lord. As we meet the Lord, our yearning toward the Lord becomes strong. We desire the Lord. At that time, between our soul and spirit, there will be the conflict, But as there is the light illuminated, I continue to adore the Lord and long for the Lord. I complain against my soul. I blame my soul quite the opposite way. I would say, why my soul doesn't listen to my words? Why doesn't my soul follow my will? It is because there is one new wish in my spirit. As there was one beam of light was illuminated, a new wish welled up. If my soul is taken by the Lord, my soul will receive salvation, even in the strong hurricane and even in the whirlwind, and able to maintain the stability. If our soul becomes stable, that person himself will get the stability. He becomes calm, and he was power deep inside, and that power appears only when it's necessary. It doesn't appear always. He had deep joy, but it appeared only when it is necessary. It doesn't appear always. His willpower is so strong, it is fearful, but it doesn't appear always. It appears only when it is necessary. Her mind is closed up well water and covered up spring water. His soul doesn't move toward anything else. It only appears toward the Lord, as if it has no interest toward anything else, as if he has no passion, no decisive attitude, but when necessary, he has a very strong, decisive attitude. He has only strong and tough emotion. This is salvation of soul. This man looks like a deep sunken man, like a man who will never become shaken. The people of the world are floated high above. We don't know how many feet they are floated. And they would say, that man is so strange. Why is that man so calm? For that man, nothing had happened. We have had so many problems in our soul, but actually problems were not complicated. Our soul became complicated. My thought was complicated. Problems were actually small, but in my thought it became enlarged enormously, and we thought we cannot handle them at all. So we are struggling. When we have a dream, it's so small in reality, but we grab as if it is so big. Actually, it is a piece of thread, but in my dream, it is as big as work club. Like the same manner in my soul, it is so complicated. So many problems are entangled, but it is only my soul. But in reality, it is nothing. Well, other people also have that kind of problems. In my thought, I have a big. I make it big. It is such a small thing, but it became enormously large. My empty thought must die in the Lord, then we can receive salvation. We learn the fact that if we have no empty thoughts, we can survive and enjoy the peace. Because our empty thoughts, our life became complicated. It depends on our thought. It is not big, actually. It seems that I can handle, but other people, they can overcome easily. It's not reality, it's just my thought. The beasts don't have complicated thought. Even though they may face big problems, it passes through quickly. They don't remain for a long time. But for people, even though they experience small difficulties, it remains with them continually. It remains in their soul. Some people experience a large problem, but it can remain in ourselves for several decades or even 100 years. As we keep those problems in our soul for eternity, the fact that we have thoughts, it is reality. Precious, but we don't know how painful it is. The beasts are really happy. Sometimes we think about the beasts to lead their life without complicated thoughts. It seems so happy for them. So I find this law at work. When I want to do good, evil is right there with me. Paul said, "What a wretched man I am. Who will rescue me from this body of death?" When we deplore, it is because our soul, in our deep spirit, in our deep life, we have a strong yearning toward the Lord, yearning toward God. But our soul doesn't respond. Our thought will wander around. It is a painful thing. So many Christians in the world pray so hard as they shout out loud because they want to forget about everything. They just want to fly to the world of God. They can pray quietly, but they shout out loud as their thoughts are so complicated. They want to drive out their thoughts away. That's why they shout out loud. But those people whose soul is quiet, they don't need to shout out loud. If they shout out loud, it's too noisy. It would be better to keep quiet. It is the salvation of soul. It is the salvation of a man. Problem is in the soul, not in other place. If there is no problem in soul, there is no problem in any other place. No problem at all. My heart sank as his departure. I looked for him, but did not find him. I called him, but he did not answer. He took away my soul. I cannot move my own soul. Lord is moving my soul. It is strange. He took away my heart. There is nobody but who called me. Lord is in my soul. When I went outside, but there was nobody. It is his soul in my thought. Lord appeared in his thought. Lord was appeared as the Lord who received tribulation. So he sensed it. Lord took away my soul. I looked for him, but I could not meet him. I heard his voice in my soul, but even though I may call him, I cannot meet him. I looked for him, but I could not meet him. I called him, but there was no answer. The watchmen found me as they made their rounds in the city. They beat me, they bruised me, they took away my cloak. Those watchmen of the walls, they gave me shame. Those watchmen are the guards who keep the castle at night. They keep the watchtower. They beat me, they bruised me, they took away my cloak. They gave me shame. They gave me shameful feeling. As I shouted out loud, people made me shameful. It is her thought. It is consciousness that came into herself. The consciousness of the Lord became her own consciousness, and she could not lead her life according to her own will, because if not, she could not find out Lord's will. My soul in the past was ungodly, so I could not follow the will of the Lord. But my soul became normalized and could listen to Lord's voice. My sister, my darling, my dove, my flawless one, my head is drenched with dew, my hair with dampness of the night. Lord's voice is heard in my soul. Lord's will became my will. So my path of life became the path of life of the Lord also. Lord is always there. Where I pick flowers, Lord is right there. Where I feed my lamb, Lord is right there. Where I appear, Lord also appears. This is the perfect salvation. It is the salvation given in my soul. In the past, as something went wrong, with my soul, I took something which is not a problem, but I took it as problem and struggled. I just misused my energy. Thank you. Hallelujah. May God bless every one of you. Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you.